And welcome back to Hannity. Hillary Clinton is facing a lot of backlash after the Washington Free Beacon unearthed audio tapes from the 1980s of her. Now, she recalls her time as a lawyer specifically when she defended a man accused of raping a 12-year-old girl, even though she thought he was guilty at the time.
Remember that case where I represented that guy? It was a fascinating case. It was really an interesting case. This guy was accused of raping a 12-year-old. Of course, he claimed that he didn't. All this stuff. He took a lie detector test. I had to take a polygraph, which he passed, which forever destroyed my faith in polygraphs.
How did it turn out?
Oh, he plea bargained. We got him off. It was time served in the county jail. He'd been in the county jail about 2 months.
And look what else we got our hands on. Hillary Clinton from the early 90s claiming that she cared about women and children.
Over the past 25 years, I have worked persistently on issues relating to women, children, and families. It is a violation of human rights when individual women are raped in their own communities. It is a violation of human rights when a leading cause of death worldwide among women ages 14 to 44 is the violence they are subjected to in their own homes by their own relatives.
Here with reaction to more, the always outspoken Ann Coulter. Nobody in the media is covering this story. Now, she got the guy off with time served, even though she said, I gave up my faith in polygraphs. So she's defending somebody she knows is guilty of raping a 12-year-old girl, gets him off, is laughing about it on tape,
right.
And then is the great champion of women. And
right. Right. Well, first of all, I do love the Southern accent, not as much as when she does a black accent, but the Southern accent is fun. No, I think this is a pretty serious matter, and I first heard about it on your radio show. I didn't know what you were talking about. I don't think this is going to go over well with normal people because it fits in with the whole idea, both of the Democratic Party and particularly the Clintons, that they are just con artists pretending to care about the little guy while they're using legal trickery to perpetrate injustices on the weak and powerless, which is what Hillary Clinton did here. I mean, this poor girl, if you read about what the crime was, it's quite shocking, more than comes across in that little fake Southern accent conversation she gives. It was 2 guys who brutally raped and beat a 12-year-old girl who was a virgin. She was made infertile. She was in a coma for 5 days. And Hillary Clinton not only defended this guy, do not believe what they are saying elsewhere, that lawyers are required to do this. You know, oddly enough, I am a lawyer. I practice law. I don't know any lawyers who have defended criminals. I mean, personally.
She said she did it as a favor.
You have to reach out to take these cases. No one forces you to defend, Ted Bundy. It's always the same lawyers doing it. In any event, she submitted an affidavit claiming that this poor 12-year-old girl was a fantasist, that she had falsely accused other people before. When the girl was presented with this recently, she didn't know that Hillary had worked so hard to get her rapist off. She said, I don't know what she's talking about. She's lying in this affidavit. How can we trust her as president if she'll lie in a court case to defend the rapist of a young girl? And I just think it fits into this whole, oh, I feel your pain phoniness of the Clintons. Often the scandals that hurt the most, like Gary Hart, for example, being caught in the monkey business having an affair. When it hurts the most is when it fits into an image a sneaking suspicion people already have about you, and that is the suspicion people have about the Clintons, the big defenders of women and children. She's laughing about getting a guilty rapist off. I think this is a big issue. I think it's bigger than Benghazi.
And I got to tell you, and you think back to the last election campaign, and one of the big stories was that Mitt Romney may have cut some kid's hair in high school.
No, I'm sorry, but the contrast is just shocking.
I know.
What is it, the Cranbrook School up in Grosse Pointe, Michigan? They have to go back 40, 50 years, and I think the kids' parents were defending Mitt Romney, some high school alleged prank that neither the family nor Mitt Romney remembered. And they're running that every day on the cover of the Washington Post. This is when Hillary Clinton was an adult, when she was a practicing lawyer, and it fits in with what I would say not only about the Clintons, but about the Democratic Party generally, this nonsense. I never want to hear about the Republican war on women anymore. In addition to this, we have just this week New York taxpayers spending $40 million to pay off 5 savage rapists from Central Park, which I've written about a lot, including in my book Demonic. There's no question that these 5 were guilty. And again, it's just legal chicanery and the powerful putting one over on innocent victims of rapists.
You have sold multiple #1 best-selling books. $84,000 for a $14 or $15 million advance. Hilary claiming she was broke the year she got an $8 million book deal. Seriously. And then she says, today, that, well, Bill and I aren't well off. And meanwhile, Chelsea Clinton says, I tried real hard to care about money. She got a $600,000 salary for almost a no-show job in television.
Yes. What did they calculate it was per minute?
Oh, it's
like
crazy.
$16,000 per minute Chelsea spent on NBC's airwaves. No, Hillary does not have the light touch that Bill Clinton does, and that's saying something, since I don't think he's so charming and charismatic despite the rumors. But that business about dead broke, what's funny is to see liberals, they flash back and forth between viciously attacking Mitt Romney for having worked for his money. He gave away all the money he inherited, worked for his money, made himself a wealthy man, and then when Hillary Clinton, who has acquired all of this money by being married to an adulterous president, and we must make a president now, that's how she gets her money, and they turn around and start citing, FDR. Well, we want our presidents to be richer than we are. Wait, you weren't saying that about Mitt Romney. It was all Mr. Elitist out of touch.
And Coulter, good to see you.
Bernie Sanders is not the only candidate the Democratic establishment hates and is trying to destroy. From day one, party leaders have opposed Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii because Gabbard agrees with the 2006 party platform and thinks foreign wars, when they're pointless, are a mistake. Hillary Clinton suggested that she was working for Russia.
I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's a favorite of the Russians.
Groomed by the Russians, Hillary says of Tulsi Gabbard. Well, this week, Gabbard filed a $50 million defamation suit against Hillary Clinton. We're happy to have Tulsi Gabbard join us tonight. Congresswoman, thanks so much for coming on. You've sued Hillary Clinton.
Thanks,
no one saw that coming. Why are you doing it?
This is about my life. For so many people in the media, they're saying, oh, well, this is just another news story. But this is my life that we're talking about here. For me as a soldier, as every service member does, I took an oath of loyalty to our country, the country that I love, willing to put my life on the line for our country, deploying twice to the Middle East to do so, still serving in uniform in the Army National Guard today, now for almost 17 years. The essence of this service, this love of country, is who I am. So when you have someone as powerful as Hillary Clinton seeking to smear my reputation, essentially implying that I'm a traitor to the country that I love, what she essentially is doing is taking my life away. So what this lawsuit is about is actually valuing the honor and the loyalty and integrity that every one of our service members embodies, and saying that no one can try to defame them. We will not allow that to go unchecked.
So Hillary Clinton said the other day that she's behind all Democrats, and of course she's the woman's candidate, the candidate of female empowerment. Why do you think she singled you out as a woman and accused you of colluding with a foreign government? I mean, that's not the Hillary they want us to think she is.
I think it was a very clear and intentional message that if you dare to cross Hillary Clinton or her powerful allies, that you too will see your reputation smeared. You too will get the kind of false and baseless accusations that we've seen from Hillary towards me. It's an attempt to silence anyone who dares to cross her.
I mean, grooming you like you're the Manchurian candidate, like you've, gone to school in Moscow and are posing as an American. What do you think will happen in this lawsuit? What's her response been so far?
To my knowledge, we've not gotten any kind of official or unofficial response. I think it's important to point out that this is all happening in spite of the fact that, as I mentioned, I have been serving as a soldier now for our country for almost 17 years, deploying twice to the Middle East, serving in Congress for 7 going on 8 years on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Armed Services and Homeland Security Committees, dedicating my entire adult life in service to our country. All of this aside, she still goes on and makes these claims that somehow implying I'm a traitor to the country that I love.
On the basis of no evidence. It looks like she's going to run for president. That's the sense you get. Her spokesman said she was open to it on this show. Do you think she's considering getting in the race?
I have no idea. You know, I'm here in New Hampshire. I'm focused on our campaign. Election day in New Hampshire here is in 19 days. And I think the American people, what I'm hearing from across party lines, Democrats, Republicans, independents, libertarians are coming to our town halls every single day, disagreeing on some or even maybe many issues, but coming together around this central point that you and I often talk about how our country needs to stop waging these wasteful regime change wars. We need a commander-in-chief who will work to end this new Cold War and nuclear arms race and redirect our taxpayer dollars towards really serving the needs of people here at home. That is what I'm seeking to do as President Commander-in-Chief, and prepared to do so from day one.
People are shocked you sued her. I didn't find it shocking. She accused you of being groomed by a foreign power to subvert this country. So we're, of course, rooting for you in this. Congresswoman, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks.